What's going on, everybody? I'm Tank, and this is another episode of Roadie Reactions.
Get with this.
I feel like at this point on this channel, if you're a regular, you probably already know what day of the week it is, but just in case, it's Nightwish Wednesday. And if you're not familiar, this is the dedicated day of the week where I continue my personal adventure discovering the music of Nightwish. And this week, I'm super excited because we are taking a trip back to Wacken 2013. This is the show where I experienced Nightwish for the very first time. Well, on YouTube, because I've never been to Wacken, unfortunately. But someday I'm gonna go, man, and it's gonna be sick. But until then, we're gonna continue the YouTube journey. And this is a song that has been requested a lot. And by a lot, I mean a fucking lot. Like, every week I get tons of comments where people are like, I cannot believe you have not done this song yet, because most reactors do this like their second or third Nightwish video. Well, you haven't already figured it out. I'm not most reactors, and while I have done a lot of stuff that other reactors have done, I like to take different paths, which I have done, but today's finally the day. We're finally doing it. I will link this video in the description below. Today, I'm listening to Nightwish, and for the first time, I am hearing Song of Myself live at Wacken 2013. Let's go! Yes!
Nightingale is still locked in the cage. The deep breath I took still poisons my lungs. An old oak sheltering me from the blue, sunbathing on its dead frozen leaves. Get up in the ghost town of earth. She dreams of story time and the river ghost. Over me so quick and stand the light. Raging hurricanes strike into course. The son of me is hugging me. Your rage is symphony. Birth of me puts in need of a God singing beat to beat.
Good place to stop. Man, I forgot how, like, big production-wise this Wacken show was. Right out of the gates, you're getting pyro. As we've talked about different kinds of pyro in this, those are clearly gas-based flames, most likely propane, because that is obviously the most common thing that they use at live shows like this. I didn't get a good count, but it looks like there was at least a dozen flame heads on that stage. And it's always interesting with pyro because there are a lot of parts in bands' live shows that are kind of choreographed. They know where they need to be at what parts for solos and where they want to be on stage to interact and stuff. But when you start throwing pyro in, you've got to really know where you're at. And the sign of a really good pyro guy too, because they have to watch, is that if they see a band member that forgets that there's pyro coming up and they're like too close to a flame head, they need to know not to do that effect. And the guy that trained me in pyro, his name's Randy Bast. He owns High Tech Special Effects in, I think he's out of Memphis. He always told me the difference between a good pyro guy and a bad pyro guy is that the good pyro guy knows not when to press the button. So pretty cool. We'll get into some gear and stuff like that later, but let's keep going. So this has got to be a song from Imaginarum, right? I don't know, because I haven't listened to the whole album yet because there's still stuff I want to react to, but it just has that vibe with a lot of the little breaks with Tuomas's piano parts and stuff like that. I've been wrong about that kind of stuff before, though. It's fun to guess what era these songs are from because a lot of the times it's actually pretty difficult to guess. But one of the most interesting things about this show, once I got to know the band, was that at this point, Floor was not an official member of the band yet. Now, some people like to argue, and they're like, well, they asked her like months before this if she would join the band. And I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about to the public eye, she was not an official member of this band until, I think, let's see, this is August, September. Yeah, like 2 months after this. And she'd only been touring with the band for what, 9 months? Something like that when this show happened. Super impressive, man, that she could just come in and just sing all these songs. And we've talked about gear a ton on this channel with Nightwish. And Nightwish is a band that they don't switch stuff up a lot. Like, a lot of bands, you see them swapping out different instruments all the time. I think the person I've seen change the most stuff is Marco. And in this video, he's playing Warwick, as he always does. But he's playing the Warwick Buzzard, which I've only seen him with a couple times. Buzzard is a super cool bass, man. It was originally designed by the owner of Warwick and John Entwistle of The Who. He wanted to design something super cool, super crazy that felt comfortable and sounded good. And to me, it's one of the most unique basses I think I've seen. And it's instantly, immediately, I could tell you that it's a Buzzard without even seeing the body of the guitar, just from the headstock. Like, most Warwick headstocks look the same, except for that one. So, love that, man. Let's continue. Yeah, Marco. Oh. Ooh, Marco's doing some cool bass runs there. All right, let's stop really quick because we're getting close to the end. I want to knock out some more gear stuff. Yuka back on the drums for this performance. Obviously, he was still a full-time member of the band then before Kai came in. Exclusive artist of Tama drums and Paiste cymbals. And even though he is now like retired from playing but still works behind the scenes with the band, still endorsed by those drum companies. That's how big of a presence he was, that even after his playing career, he's still listed on their websites as an exclusive artist. That's super cool. Tomas, as always, playing Korg. I mean, he's said multiple times how much he loves Korg. He's played a ton of different keyboards of theirs over the years, and he's got that big contraption around him again, which we've learned he hides wine behind during the shows. He's also looking very much like The Undertaker in this one. A lot more than normal. And for those of you that follow the channel, Empu is playing, say it with me, an ESP signature EV1, which is his signature guitar based off the ESP Horizon body style. Oh, it never gets old saying that. He has been playing ESP since 2004, and I hear he's playing a new guitar nowadays that I haven't seen, but in all of the Nightwish videos I've seen, that's all he's been playing. Someday I'll see him with a different guitar in his hands, but today is not that day. Other than that, I think I've covered everything else. We've talked a lot of production on these guys in the past, and being as this is a festival, the majority of the lights and stuff that you're seeing hanging in the air are all a part of the festival. It's not Nightwish's package that they would carry with them. So let's finish it off. There we go. Holy sh! Really quick. I'm gonna go back a hair. I was talking about the pyro. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 flame heads on the downstage part of the stage, which is the part closest to the audience. My eyes could be deceiving me, but it looks like another 8 upstage behind them. So there's at least a dozen flame heads on stage, possibly 16 from what I can see. 16 for sure. All right. Wow, that was an abrupt ending. All right, let's go talk about it. Well, another Nightwish song in the books, and again, as always, I loved it. Now, here's the interesting thing. My buddy Chase Carnison told me when he heard this song, this was one of his favorite Nightwish songs that he heard early on in his Nightwish journey. Now, had I heard this song way earlier, when everybody started suggesting it, like my third or fourth Nightwish song, it probably would have been up there with my favorite. But because I've heard like 18 other songs at this point, I don't even know if this is in the top half. I really don't. And I'm not trying to take away from this song at all, because it was great. It's just, that's how many kick-ass songs this band has, man. It's wild. Like, even the bottom half of my favorite Nightwish songs I've heard so far are still whoop-ass songs. That's what's insane, is like, that's what's hard about making lists and ranking what your favorites are. I've had a lot of you guys ask me what my favorites are, and it's hard to say that because some people automatically think that if you like one song more than another, that it means you dislike that other song. And that's not the case at all. So, man, I cannot wait to see this band live someday. I'm gonna lose my freaking mind, man. I can't wait to continue this journey. And speaking of that journey, we have one more week next week of suggestions from you guys. So leave your suggestions in the comments below. And if you see a song that you like, give it a thumbs up, because I always look, and whatever songs have the most thumbs up, that's usually what I go to. And then the week after next, we're finally doing the greatest show on earth. I feel like it's just like another test that I have to pass. Like, We did Poet the Pendulum. Now it's time for the greatest show on earth. And I'm fired up, man. I cannot wait. So thank you guys once again. And if this is your first time here, feel free to click subscribe. I release new videos all the time. So if you turn the alerts on, you'll be notified the second new stuff comes out. If you liked this video, I would greatly appreciate the like, as it does help me and my channel out. But if you disliked it, no big deal at all, man. You're free to click dislike, move on. I'm also on a ton of different social media. I also have a Discord server that I do share with Chase Carnison, and I will link that below. We also spend a lot of time on the Night Dreamers Reacticide Discord server, which is a Discord server for Nightwish fans from all over the world to get together and hang out, talk about the band, talk about other bands, talk about whatever, man. It's a good time, and I will link that in the description as well. My handle on everything social media related is @TankTheTech. Thank you once again for watching. I will be back very soon with another episode of Roadie Reactions.